Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to the all-new Audi e-tron. It's Audi's new SUV. It's fully electric, and what makes it relevant to us back home is that it has a high chance of coming to India. Reason enough to see it in a lot more detail. Let's talk tech and platform first. The e-tron comes built on a modified version of the VW Group's MLB Evo platform. There's a 95 kWh lithium-ion battery pack under the passenger compartment floor that supplies power to two electric motors, one up front and one at the rear. Combined power is 265 kW or about 360 horsepower, but a boost mode that can be used for 8 seconds at a time takes the figure up to 300 kW or 408 horsepower. Audi claims a standard 0 to 100 kph time of 6.4 seconds or 5.7 seconds in boost mode. That's borderline performance SUV stuff. Top speed 200 kph. Audi has also made a bold claim for the e-tron's charging capabilities, claiming a 30-minute charging time to 80% via a 150 kW DC fast charger, the sort that will become common across Europe in the years to come. A 240-volt AC home wall socket will juice the battery up to 80% in 8 hours or so. Also, if Audi's claims are anything to go by, range anxiety should be a thing of the past. The e-tron has been tested with a range of 400 km in the realistic WLTP cycle, which is an impressive figure. In fact, it's the high range that has got Audi thinking seriously about the e-tron for India, where EV charging infrastructure is virtually non-existent. Audi is looking at bundling charging hardware with the e-tron in India rather than setting up a network of chargers, though the exact solution is yet to be finalized on. That's about the e-tron as an EV. Let's talk about it as an SUV. Now, if you take a look at the Audi e-tron shape, you'll find that it looks conventional. It looks like your average Audi SUV, and that's exactly what Audi's research found. People want electric cars, they want SUVs, but they don't want something radical just for the sake of it. But there are certain details that will distinguish the e-tron from your average Q5 or Q7. Let's start with the grille. Get used to that silver finish grille because that will be a staple trademark of Audi's electric models. It is functional, and there are louvers behind that as well that open and close depending on the cooling requirements. Typical Audi sharply cut headlights, and the wheels, you can have them in this design or something more conventional. Wheel sizes range from 19 inches to 21 inches, but if there's one detail that really makes the e-tron stand out, it has got to be the wing mirrors. These wing mirrors incorporate cameras, something we've so far seen only on concept cars at motor shows, but the e-tron will finally bring that technology to the road. The mirrors not only look cool, but Audi says tremendously help aero efficiency as well. The image from the cameras can be seen on displays on the doors. Wing mirror screens aside, what is the rest of the Audi e-tron's cabin like? Briefly said, very Audi. So you get your typical virtual cockpit right here. There's a large touchscreen for your navigation and other functions on top, and there is the separate climate control screen lower down. The general impression is that you're sitting in something high, something heavy, and you're commanding something very luxurious. What also makes the e-tron a little bit different from all the other Audis on sale, this toggle-like gear shifter. In size, the e-tron slots right between the Q5 and the Q7. However, the e-tron is a strict 5-seater. Here's what it will be like for those seated at the back. The electric architecture has allowed a lot of flexibility when it comes to cabin space. So there's no center tunnel, which obviously frees up legroom for the middle passenger. But if you're one of the guys who are sitting by the windows, you can tell there's a lot of legroom, plenty of headroom, so you will be really comfortable in the back. There's a point of interest behind the rear seats as well. The Audi e-tron also has a large boot, but the practicality does not end there, because with the electric motor tucked low down, there is space under the boot floor, And the good news is Audi has been listening to feedback, especially from markets like India, so there is dedicated space for a space-saver spare tire. Audi India officials are tight-lipped on positioning, but what's clear is that the e-tron will be a niche product targeted primarily at tech-savvy early adopters. Pricing will be competitive, we are told, but it will be significantly more than traditional combustion engine models like the Q7. Expect e-tron prices to easily breach the 1 crore rupee mark. As things stand, the e-tron is potentially going to be the first electric car to go on sale from a luxury car maker in India, and it could just be the start of the shift towards electric cars among India's rich and famous.